Hi, good morning. Wherever you're watching me from, my name is Lisa Dublin, and I have a story to tell you this morning. When I was in the first year of university back in the Caribbean, in Trinidad, the University of the West Indies, I wanted to take on French. Now, I had done French up to high school. I didn't do it for college, so I had missed those two crucial years of really getting, into the language. But I'm pretty good at languages. I speak Spanish fluently as well. And when I went to university, I signed up for French. And it was difficult, don't get me wrong. It was difficult because I had to do a lot of back reading and catching up. And so I was performing not at a failure level, but at a C level. And after that first semester of really struggling, but at least getting through, my lecturer at the time called me, pulled me aside. This is the first time and the last time, okay, that a official lecturer has ever discouraged me from doing anything. And she said, I don't think you should continue. It's going to be very difficult for you. Look at you, you're at a C. And for a couple of reasons, because I was not accustomed to lecturers saying don't do stuff. I'm usually the great student, the one who gets pushed, the one who gets, I do well at school. Okay. And just that experience, it really put a damper on my dream of picking up French again. And I gave it up. You know what I discovered subsequently? A lot of the people who came into that program in the first year of university with the A level French were already failing. And here I was without it and performing at a C level, at least at a C. I was not failing. And I let this lecture talk me out of my dream. And do you know what? Like a couple, I think I met her at a function later on when I was getting some prize for literature or something of the sort. And she's like, why didn't you go on with the French? Like she forgot that she had said to me, I needed to drop it, which I did. And I won't ever forget that experience because it really is a sign, like it really is an illustration of how we let people put a damper on our dreams. We let people talk us out of the things that we want to do, not realizing sometimes they do it. Sometimes, yes, out of knowledge, yes, out of wanting good for us, but sometimes it's just glib and by the way. Because if she could come up to me later and say, "Hey, why did you give up? Why did you give up French?" It means it really wasn't that deep after all. So that is my story of giving up on a dream and never ever and vowing to myself to never ever let anyone talk me out of what I want to do again. What about you? Where have you been talked out of a dream? Where are you being discouraged? Are the people who are discouraging you, saying don't do it, do they themselves have the authority to do so, as in they've gone down that path and they know that it doesn't work and they can advise you? Many times we take our advice from the armchair Olympians, from the people behind the scenes who are not out there crushing it like we are or trying. Many times we take our advice from people, yes, who might love us, but act out of fear of not wanting you to go through and to experience all that life has planned for you. I came upon this quote. By the way, wherever you're joining me, welcome to Basement Chronicles Live. I'm going to be on today, tomorrow, and on Friday. And if you're watching me on LinkedIn, on Saturday, hopefully, I'm going to be doing Saturday Spa only on YouTube, so you can join me there. I'm a health and life coach. I'm a speaking coach as well. I help professional women to live, to speak, and to lead with confidence because from my experience, and this is part of what we're talking about this morning, confidence is like an espresso shot in your life. Confidence makes you see the possibilities where others see closed doors. Confidence makes you immune to the criticisms that can keep you away from your dream. And I'm here to tell you this morning, what do you want in life and who are you letting get in the way? Now, I have a quote that I put together. I first heard it with Brene Brown. You probably know it as well. I'm going to put it up on my screen and read it out. We're going to take it as a launching pad into our little talk this morning about going after what you want to and recognizing that every dream has a cost. It does. And I'm going to tell you another story about how I found myself on the gym floor this week, bawling my eyes out because this dream of wanting to run um, at 48, right? Okay. It's kind of, yeah, I have some tweaking to do. It's possible. I mean, I'm saying I'm 48, and if you're younger, you're like, she's old. But if you're older and a runner, you're like, girl, what are you talking about? People run up to 90s, whatever. So, yes, it's possible. So, I'm in that space where I know it's possible, but I have to tweak the dream a little just to make it more comfortable for myself. I really want to run marathons. I've done a half marathon. I'm preparing for another half marathon this year. And it's hard because I'm outside running now on the pavement. I love running outside. It's summertime. We're about to head into 6 months of winter here in Edmonton. So I better make use of all the outside that I can get. But at the same time, when I began this journey as a runner many years ago, I was a couple years younger. And I'm telling you, like from 43 to 48, oh my goodness, like everything has changed. Anywho, I will talk about that. Let's go to that quote that I first heard from Brene Brown. You probably know it, and it is this. Let me just show it here. It is not the critic who counts, nor hang on, let me just remove this logo now. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. And that quote, my friends, this morning, that quote was from Theodore Roosevelt. Okay, he was the president. Oh my goodness, Roosevelt, United States, or was it the UK? Somebody tell me. I know this. I'm just a little thing this morning. But he was a great leader, and he was a wartime leader as well, and led his country to great victory. And did you hear that quote? That's the most important part of what I said there. That we should not be afraid to go after what we want for fear of what other people will say. Because I always like to tell my friends, my family, even my clients, before you take on a criticism, you need to look at who is giving it. Before you take as gospel what somebody has said, it behooves us to look at who's saying it. And what Theodore Roosevelt was saying there is so important that don't take on those people who don't know the price of the fight, the pain of the vision. I have this poem on YouTube. You can go check it out. I've got a channel called Lisa M. Dublin, my poetry channel. So you can go check it out there. Maybe I should put it in the chat. You can go check out my poetry channel there, Lisa M. Dublin. Look for that channel on YouTube, and you can see my poetry there. That I have that poem called To All the Girls, where it really talks about helping women to just step out and dare to be different, dare to do yourself, dare to be you. It will come with a cost, however. But I feel like in this little segment that we're talking about, people and their approach and attitude to our dreams, I don't, if you don't have any skin in the game, why do I even care what you're saying? Like you are sitting in your armchair looking at me trying to do something and either laughing or scoffing, whereas secretly you know that what I'm doing you might never be able to do, or you secretly admire somebody who's stepping out and having the courage to go after their dreams. Where are you taking the criticism from, and who have you let stand in the way of your dreams? You have to go forward past the criticisms. because many times they are not warranted. Many times they come from people who are even more short sighted than we are and do not know the price of the fight, the pain of the vision. I put it all there in that poem. Go check out my poem, To All the Girls. It's right there. And I guess it's not only for the girls, it's also for guys. I have no patience and no time for people who like to laugh at others trying to do their thing. Like, you do you, because if you are that dreamer, that goal getter, you honestly do not have time, number one, to be laughing at other people and trying to denigrate and trying to diminish their own dreams, because you should be about your own business. Now, here's the second thing, and this is my second story. So, I love running. I love going out there, and um, I I just took it up a couple years ago for so many reasons. Number one, it's weight control. Number two, I'm very introverted in spite of being out here and always speaking. I coach, I speak on stages. I draw my energy and I regenerate from being quiet, which is why I love working in my basement and doing that kind of work as opposed to being out there in an office, because it suits my personality better. So it's not no surprise that I've taken up running. Anyway, running outside on pavement is very hard, on the road, whatever. Okay, and in spite of, yes, I had to get new runners and all of that. I now feel it in my knees a lot more, and it's for a couple of reasons. And we're going to talk about, even within going in for after a dream, that you've got to evaluate and adjust to do the things that are going to get you closer to the dream. And so on Sunday, I did 13 kilometers, 13.32. Like, yeah, I'm the person who will count every point zeros. I did 13 kilometers out there. It took like an hour and 40 something minutes. Like, I'm not a fast runner or whatever, but it's exhilarating. If you are looking for an exercise, try running. Start small. Start with 1K, half a mile, whatever. But running, I love running. Anywho, afterwards, this was my fourth consecutive Sunday long run. And increasingly, my afterwards, the recovery is harder for a couple reasons. Just the wear and tear on the body, running's hard. Okay. And so I had gym on Monday, and I literally was on the floor while my trainer was rolling out. You know, the roller, the painful rollers. Oh my God, I hate them. And she was rolling out my thighs, my hamstrings, my calves. Yo, I was like, I think the only thing that was worse than that kind of pain was perhaps childbirth. Okay. No, it was really hard. And I was literally crying. And for the first time in a long time, while I was there on my stomach, just being rolled out, I asked myself the question, why are you even doing this? Why, Lisa? Why on earth do you want to do this? Who asked you to do this? You don't have to. You could just settle down. You could just be out of shape like everybody, like a lot of other people. Or you could choose an exercise that you don't like. Like, do you have to do this? Except that is what it takes to satisfy me. That is what I love to do. That is the price of the vision, the price of the fight. That is that is what gets me going. Like, if you catch me running, let's say like an hour into the run, I have this silly grin on my face. Okay, they call it the runner's high, when the endorphins are firing and you really feel just so exhilarated to be out there, blessed with the ability to be mobile and to be healthy enough to. It's everything. It's the feeling, you guys. I hope I'm becoming a proponent for running. Get out there, put on your trainers, and go see what there is to see. It's lovely. Okay, it's just, oh my goodness, running is great. Anywho, I found myself saying that, and I just started bawling my eyes out. And I think too, it was a bit of catharsis for everything else that was going on with me too. So it was good that I had a good cry. And afterwards, I'm saying to my trainer, her name is Taylor. She's really good. One day you're gonna meet her. And I was saying to her, like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. Why? And she was reminding me, this is your dream. This is what you said you wanted to do. Why not? And this is the hardest part, like getting yourself rolled out and prepped, getting your body primed. But it's a good thing. Like if I go to, I remember just there's so many advantages to being active and having a regular exercise routine that I won't give it up for anything. And just talking to me reminded me of why I wanted to be a runner. Nobody's in this with you. And I'm talking to you now, not me. Nobody's in this with you. Nobody's coming to save you. You have a dream and you have to dig deep to recognize that it is a lonely road, that at the end of that road, you perhaps are the only one who can see what the end will be. And you're not going to get there if you give up now. My inspiration and just encouragement to you this morning is to dig a little deeper when it gets iffy and it gets hard and it gets difficult to the point where you feel like giving up. Remember that I'm looking at it right now. I have this little poster by my treadmill that says, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. And because you can't do the hard, you put yourself in the 1% of people. You put yourself in the kinds of people who can command authority, where discipline, resilience is concerned, or whatever it is, where you get in that rare space of the people who could do just those things that most people don't want to do. That is some incentive to keep on going. You can't afford to give up. It's going to get hard. You're going to pay the price. And the last thing that I want to say before I end today is, even when it gets hard, there has to be adjustment and evaluation. And I teach that a lot to my clients about when you go after goals. You can't just keep on doing the same thing over and over and just be like, yes, I keep on pressing. Yes, I've got to do this. And then you get law of diminishing returns, or it's becoming extremely hard and you just keep on going because you have all of this determination. Determination without evaluation is stupidity. It really is. And so for me, where that is coming into play is, and you won't believe like who is really like on my case for this. My first son is 16, and both him and my second son, I've got three sons. The first and second are athletes. They're into basketball, very deeply into it at that level. Okay. And they're on me for stretching. I was never a big stretcher, okay? But here's the thing, even as I have begun working from home and sitting in this chair a lot, it has become even more important that I stretch. And so I've recognized that not stretching is costing me. Part of the reason that I was in so much pain was because I had not stretched. I came from my run on Sunday and I went straight into the kitchen to kind of like, I had cooked the night before to give me that room to do what I needed to do on the Sunday. But there were still a little things, some stuff I wanted to cook. And I didn't stretch. So obviously my body kind of clamped up. Okay. So now, like before I came on, I did my stretches because I promised myself to be good enough to myself to do the things that matter, that to take care of me. So stretching is the new thing, that you have to do it whether I think you're active or not is very important, and I'm learning that now. So I hope all of what I said this morning about going after a dream and not letting people stand in the way is also balanced by you being that logical person who's thinking through your dream and doing what is necessary to adjust so that you have a better chance of getting there. It's not just persistence, it's persistence and evaluation, resilience, and digging deep to find out how can I fine tune for me to make sure I get to that dream. So let's go. All right, join me tomorrow, same time, you guys, 6 a.m. MST. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about relationships. How do you know somebody loves you? Not just romantic. What about friends? Friends can show that they love or don't love either. Okay, so that also is important. And so you can join me tomorrow. Put on your alarm if this is important enough to you. Put on your alarm so that you can follow me, you can be here with me tomorrow. So don't forget, I'm gonna jump on IG when I'm done here. You can follow me on IG at Lisa M Dublin. Let me just move that ticker right now. Let me move the ticker tape, and yeah. So I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Don't forget to go after your dream. Just don't let people get in your head. Bye, everybody.